By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Get him. Get him.
Hey, what's going on? You're tuning into another episode of 20 Tim Minutes. This is a podcast that focuses on mental health through humor, insight, and personal stories. We are on episode 92, the big 9-2. The 90s were great, and so are these episodes. Coming up on 100, 8 more to go. Can I make it? We shall see. To learn more about me, go to 20timminutes.com. You can download my app. You can follow me on social media. You can buy some merchandise. You know the spiel. Help a brother out. Independent podcasters. That's how we do. One-man show over here. No one edits my shit. I answer all my emails. I have to do the emails. One-man show. Timmy One Man, they call me. No one's called me that. So this week, I have Amy Morin on from the Very Well Mind website and podcast. She's a psychotherapist. She is pretty smart, and Very Well Mind, the website, is one of the websites I like to use for my research. And by research, it's just me reading the article. Is that researching? I don't know. The bad news is the sound from my end is not good. I do not know what happened, but I figured that my microphone wasn't plugged in properly or not plugged in at all. I want to say it was plugged in. I'm pretty good about that, but it sounds like my mic is coming from my laptop and there's a very little echo with it. So if you're going to listen to that episode, I apologize. It's still a good interview, but it's the quality's not there from my end. So you are listening for the guests anyway, and their quality is great. This happens in 2 interviews. So this week, Amy Morin. Next week, another interview. No bad audio, then bad audio again. So yeah, that's how I'm doing it. Unfortunately, I had a friend that passed. Shout out to Stoney. It's unfortunate that we lost a friend. It sounds like he was battling an addiction, and it did not end well for him. So much love to him. I'm going to the wake this week. It's always sad to see somebody pass, especially someone you grew up with, went to high school with, and then kind of lose touch with, which is unfortunate, but that's the day and age that I feel like that happens. So like I always do, I always say to tell people that I do love them, because you never know when you're going to see them last. And hopefully the last time I saw him, I said that, because it's been a little bit. But I figured that maybe I did, because that's just the kind of guy I am. So on to new things with me. My cat peed on my clothes. She peed on my gym bag for the second time this week, so that was fun. If you have a cat and you know how that pee smells, if you don't, it smells like fucking stale ammonia. I've been feeling great recently though, like stuff like that. Like I still get in bad moods, but my meds have been keeping me at bay, which is great. And I know I said I kind of felt like a drone sometimes, and maybe that is the case because of the meds, but I've been very, I can just feel it in my spirit that I feel more positive. And even though I make a lot of jokes about self-deprecating jokes and all in between, but for the most part, I've been very happy, and hopefully everyone else is pretty happy. I'll tell you who's not happy are these psychopaths that are upset about Black Ariel in the new mermaid movie, Little Mermaid. I do not get people on the internet. I just found out about this. I didn't even know there was a Little Mermaid movie coming out. And yeah, Ariel's black. And why are people upset? I don't get it. It's just a different, it's a fake person. You can do whatever you want with that. That's why James Bond, I think, should have a black James Bond, Idris Elba, because that guy's smooth as shit. He's the man. So stuff like this does not bother me. I think people are demented. The type of people I think are demented are, 1, people that fight at sporting events over sports. You are legit crazy. And then people that get upset about different races and different movies. I just don't get it. But yeah, it's insane. All right, let's get on with the show about mental health, because I'm out here to talk about my cat pee and Black Ariel. I still think that movie's going to probably be terrible, not because of what's going on, but every remake I've seen, not that good. Maybe it will be good. Hopefully it does good, but for the most part, remakes, nah, we'll see. All right, learn this. There's a link between ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which your boy has, and suicide are linked in. not like the website, but are linked together. 6 million children in the U.S. ages 3 to 17 have been diagnosed with ADHD. The CDC notes that it's one of the most common neurodevelopmental disorders of childhood. Kids with this condition may have problems sitting still, being attentive, and controlling impulsivity. Also a greater risk for self-harm. I found that very interesting, so I researched more. When it's untreated, can lead to feelings of low self-esteem, which when I wasn't on medications, that was one of the things I felt, which combined with impulsivity, oh my God, I can't fucking speak. Impulsivity. I can't, honestly, I think I'm fucked up. That can often accompany ADHD, can lead to increased suicidal ideation and even suicidal gestures or parasuicidal behavior. I don't know what parasuicidal means, but it's a different version of the word suicide or paranoia. The nature of impulsivity, fuck, dude, has a lot to do with the link to suicide. I sometimes don't know how to read. Hopefully people enjoy that because I think it's funny. Let's just say impulsive. People with high impulsiveness don't think things through. Sometimes they can act and don't really give a full consideration to outcomes, which is a big thing with me. I mistakenly just gave somebody I went to lunch and I mistakenly gave lunch to Jacqueline, and the food went sideways when I passed it over, and I didn't even think of that because what she had, and I just gave it to her, and then it spilled everywhere. That's the type of shit that happens to me where I don't think things through. Like, I'll walk outside and leave the door open for my dogs and just be like, oh, they'll be fine. And then if they run out, then I'm fucked because I don't even think about it. You don't think of the consequences of shit when you're pretty impulsive. So yeah, I can't read. It's great. So research notes also that girls are more at risk to suicidal thoughts while boys are more at risk for completing the act of suicide. I wonder why that is. It's definitely the genetic makeup of male and females, but what goes into the male's body and brain that the women's don't? Doesn't it just I know we don't have the same thought process and we're all different, and men and women can be equally smart and equally sick. But when it comes to this, why is that? I want to know if anyone has any suggestions or ideas of why that is. I would love to hear it. 781-523-9333 is my phone number. Or you can just go to 2010minutes.com and contact me. But I would love to hear what people's thoughts are, why men, or boys, I should say, are more at risk completing suicide than girls. We might see a lot more with withdrawing. Maybe sadness, a person that's looking down, but not always. Sometimes they mask sad feelings really well. Again, these are the type of things that I did. I would mask myself so much. And it's funny that it links with depression and suicide. I wouldn't think that. I thought my bipolar would probably be more on that spectrum of suicidal thoughts. But yeah, you wear a mask a lot to people. And I always joke about it. When people are like, oh, how you doing? I'm like, oh, fucking terrible. With a smile on my face so they don't know. So they're like, I do the reverse Uno card. They think I'm joking, but I'm not. And they don't know that. And I just told everyone that. So now you know that. So that's the reverse of the Uno card. I don't know if I like that game, Uno. While experts acknowledge that there is a link between the two, they also offer hope, helping children to get the mental, emotional, and physical support they need, as well as knowing what warning signs to look for, can be the first step in helping to save a life. Not everything is cut and dry from these DSM-5 books and all that shit. It's different people have different ideations or just the way their genetic makeup is made up. You know what I mean? It's just because I wear a mask, maybe bipolar people do that more often than ADHD people, but you can see that they both do it, but some people probably don't have both or one or the other. It's having a cold. Some colds fuck people up and sometimes they don't. You just deal with it. Some people get really sick with COVID. Some people died from COVID. That your body is is different from everybody else. So is your mind. And no two snowflakes are the same. We're all different. We're all built oddly. I don't know. Whoever made up our makeup of how to be a person. I don't know why they made our arms short enough where we can't reach the parts of our back to scratch. I don't know if that's some sick joke that someone played, but I'm not a fan of that. I feel like we should adapt it. There's some people that can let go of their limbs and disconnect their joints and do all that crazy shit. I don't know where I'm going with any of this. So you ever like see somebody that's disabled, and one of the first things you'd think of is, if that was me, I would kill myself. I have said that before, and it's a thing, and it's not a good thing. Like I saw somebody that like say like somebody with like MS or I wouldn't even say that, but being like just paralyzed from the neck down. I think I've had those things. I'm like, if that was me, I would kill myself. But disabled people are at an increased risk of suicide because of that. The media tropes it as better dead than disabled, so they get discriminated. And you think about that, they do get discriminated, like blind people. Like they don't even have their own money. How the fuck do they know how to spend money and get the right change back? You have to like really rely on other people, which is like probably not the same thing. But oh no, some people would say that. I've heard people say that they would kill themselves if they were blind. Blind or deaf, I would rather be blind. Deaf, I need to listen to music. Actually, I don't know. That's a tough question. You don't have to answer it, but that's a tough question. So you should double think. I guess people like say this to them. I would never say this to that person, but I guess a lot of people do. That's why it's called better dead than disabled. Like that's like a thing. And people have that conversation with somebody. Like they see somebody in a wheelchair, like, dude, I don't know how you do that shit, but I would kill myself. And like the guy in the wheelchair is like, all right, man, I'll just go fuck myself. But it plants a seed in their head that like, wow, like if someone can't handle it, maybe I can't handle it, and they get in their own head. Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know how to segue to the next thing, which I've been pretty good. My ums are down. I kind of transitioned to new topics pretty quickly to keep you guys interested and not bored on the same subject. But look at me go. Does your mom smoke marijuana? Children whose mothers use cannabis after the 5th or 6th week of pregnancy may be more likely to develop mental health problems in early adolescence, a new study suggests. Ooh, all you pot smoking moms, listen in. An analyst of data from more than 10,000 children aged 11 to 12 revealed that exposure to cannabis in utero was associated with a higher risk of developing disorders such as ADHD, aggressive behavior, conduct disorder, and rule-breaking behavior. Again, I'm thinking of people in lab coats doing this and talking to a little... this is from like The Simpsons. You know what I mean? When Ned's in the insane asylum and everyone has like coats and they're doctors. That's what I think. It's like they had this, dude, like having research like have to be that long and have to keep track is like mind-blowing to me. There are so many smart people out there, and thank Christ that like people are playing these games. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, let's test this out. Like who's testing this? Why did they start testing this? But moms, smoking marijuana, you might want to puff back. You know what I'm saying? The results fall in line with earlier research on the same children who are participants in the ongoing ABCD, Adolescent's Brain Cognitive Development. You know how I am with acronyms. The long-term project, which is supported by the National Institute of Health, has been tracking the brain development of nearly 12,000 children via MRI scans. Dude, an MRI scan is not fucking cheap. That's crazy. That's crazy. The brain scans of the children showed a hint of potential impact of cannabis. That's crazy. A 2019 study looked at the children that were 9 and 10, found the same association between prenatal cannabis and behavioral issues. It also showed that children exposed to cannabis in utero tended to have a lower birth weight, lower brain volume, and lower white matter volume. Yikes. I don't like... Take that, well, what you will. Like, not all of my stuff that I say are facts, but someone researching that and finding conclusive evidence, I don't think the word conclusive actually applies here, but you know what I mean. So, moms, not saying to stop smoking marijuana, but maybe take it outside, maybe keep away from the kids and wait. It's like drinking. Like, there's a lot of things about pregnancy I don't understand, and I didn't know. Like, I didn't know pregnant women can't eat deli meat, and I don't know why, but I'll know that from like the future. But yeah, there's a lot of questions about the woman that I don't know and I'm too afraid to ask. So social media, we're all on it. It's very negative. I'm pretty anti-TikTok when it comes to that stuff, unless it's a professional. But that is also leading to suicidal ideations. Like, this is Suicide Prevention Month to me. I think we should talk about suicide every day, not just on a specific day or a week. So I'm going to bring it. Youth suicide is on the rise, and social media has played a role. The best thing you can do to protect your loved ones, according to experts, is become digitally savvy yourself and be able to identify the risks that they are engaging with. It's people that are comparing their bodies, comparing their money, comparing their friends, all that stuff, not getting enough views. And these kids have to talk to shitty people on the internet that leave comments. And I saw one on Twitter where a girl was graduating and her smile was a little bit different than other people. And some guy pointed that out. He's like, "Why do you smile like that?" And she was like, "Thanks, that's my biggest insecurity, and you just pointed it out and ruined that thing." That could really fuck somebody up. I know people they're just soft, they can't take a joke, but I don't think a lot of people, I'm pretty impulsive, but I don't say that type of shit. I've actually in my day I've said some fucking horrible shit because of my mental illness. I feel like I don't like to make excuses. I hate having to say that. I don't pay attention because I have ADHD. Maybe I just don't pay attention because I don't give a fuck, or I'm just lazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's tough. It's tough for you, boy. Hopefully my laptop doesn't die. I forgot to plug it in. And that's my dog, Charles. Have you been having trouble sleeping? So I guess relaxing music has been linked to decreased heart rate and blood pressure. So what would your relaxing music be? I feel like when I think of this, I don't really listen to him, but I feel like if you just listen to Coldplay before bed, I think you'll be good. His voice is very relaxing. Or David Allen Boucher. Does everyone know David Allen Boucher? He was on the Magic 103.3. Yeah, that's only in Massachusetts, I would say. David Allen Boucher. Or some Barry White. Ooh, Barry White would get me going, but he'd be getting me going to sleep. And it's not a boring thing either, you know what I mean? Music, I love music. You know how it affects me. I get so, I always say, my sense of humor and my taste in music is what kept me alive. And if I didn't have either of those two, I would probably not be talking to you right now. But yeah, music is so powerful. And all my interviews, I like to ask people what their theme song is, because there are those songs that you can just run through a brick wall. Mine's obviously Dr. Octagon, Earth People. But you throw in some Little John, East Side Boys, some crunk music, I'm steamrolling through a wall. Ultimate Warrior theme song, get the fuck out of the way. Your boy Tim's coming. I talked about this on Twitter, and I think it's interesting that I had a conversation with Lindsay. Obviously, if you listen to this new, I'm separating from my wife, and we're still living together right now, which is working. I guess this is a thing with other couples because it's so expensive to live on your own. I'm ultimately going to move and live on my own, but having to save money when you have money problems isn't the easiest. And that's too much personal information right now. But I've always wanted to interview Lindsay about how it is living with somebody with a mental health disorder. And I feel like it would be interesting. It would probably be super juicy gossip for the people we know in real life. I do want to do it. She said she would do it, but it has to be when I move out, which is totally fine. Because I think it's going to be pretty interesting, pretty emotional. And I think it would be a good interview. We have a good dynamic. She's pretty funny. If you go back and listen to episode 2 and listen to her intro and then fast forward to the end of her outtakes for trying to record an intro, it actually is pretty funny. But I wonder, some people everyone was kind of interested on Twitter. Obviously, you have somebody else that has a different opinion, which I always respect. You come at me with some criticism or questions or answers that are different. Come on. I love it. Absolutely love it. So I asked questions on Twitter as well if they want me to answer them. So one question comes from a friend, Steven. If you had to play one video game against the Reaper, this is like Bill and Ted, I like it, to save someone you love, what game would you choose? Ooh. See, that's tough right now because I tried playing Madden 2004 just a minute ago and I forgot all the buttons and I didn't know. I'm not saying Madden would be that, but say a Mario Kart, I feel like I could hold my own. I don't know. I think Kung Fu. I think if I played a one-on-one who got the highest score in Kung Fu for the Nintendo gaming system, I think I would win because that's where I won my Nintendo Friendo title. When I was 6, 7, I beat up people thrice my age and I won a Super Nintendo. And then the next year, get this, right? I came in second and it was Super Mario Brothers and you couldn't go into a level twice. And this fucking older kid went into the level twice. He opened up the secret level, got all the fucking coins because the ref wasn't looking. And I was too afraid to say anything. You know what? I hope that kid lost a toe. I don't know. maybe his thumbs are broken. But I was so upset as a kid. I would have won a 64 and I didn't. I didn't because of this guy. Screwed me. 3 things I'm grateful for: being able to afford my groceries. Not many people can afford what they need or what they want, and I'm fortunate for that. Clean water. I keep forgetting that Flint, Michigan does not have clean water, nor does like 75% of the world, which is a number I just made up. I just feel like a lot of people don't have very clean water, and I love drinking water. And then having good health insurance. I want to talk about this soon, is like the potential scams, or the scams you have with like mental health insurance, or just health insurance, I mean. So yeah, that was a suggestion for a topic for next week. So I'll jump into that. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I'm feeling pretty good, even though I can't fucking say impulsivity. And I don't even know if that's fucking right. I'm going to go Google how to pronounce it right now. I love you guys, and have a good one. And we're clear.
Get him. You can kiss my ass.
This podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. If you are feeling suicidal, please dial 911.